PHNX Coyotes postgame show. Let that one sink in. Everybody, please hit the like button. Subscribe still to PHNX Sports on YouTube. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah Meruelo here with Craig Morgan, Steve Peters, and we just watched the last ever Coyotes parentheses 1.0 game of all time. The last NHL game at Mullett Arena. How's everybody feeling?
Numb right now. This was a really emotional night, and I didn't know what to expect from this day. Like I've been telling people, I got up and was feeling okay, accepting it, just sort of processing it more of an intellectual way. Then the text messages started and the phone calls started, and then I walked into the building and all kinds of staff came up to me, and then the building opened and the crowd started pouring in, and they were talking to all of us, thanking us for our impact on the community, what we've done for the community. And that's what we set out to do here a few years ago when we launched this whole thing, is create a community. It is it's gut-wrenching to think that the thing that brought us all together now it's gone.
Yeah, it's a really strange day. And it's funny because we've been coming to this arena literally when it was dirt. Like we were one of the first people in this building.
We wore hard hats in this building.
So we never really believed that there would actually be NHL hockey here, and apparently neither did the league. But to see it come to a close today the way it did,
yeah.
And I mean I'm not talking about the hockey. I'm sorry, we're going to talk very little about hockey today. But the way it did was really disheartening, and it was really sad. Because I still believe we didn't need to go through what we went through today. I don't think we needed to have today. And it's, you can talk, we're going to talk a lot about the emotions, but my goodness, did a lot of people care. It's just amazing how many, and if hockey doesn't work in the desert, they need to come see the passionate fan base. And they need to see the people that it matters to. And it matters to a lot of people. And I know we're going to talk about players and team and all that, but I want to talk about the fans. What I saw tonight, and we had an opportunity to talk to a lot of people, and the amount of people that were in tears.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking, I'm talking men, women, old, young, kids. Like, it affected so many people, and I people telling their stories. I got to hear so many stories, and it's just, again, it's so sad that we are where we are today, because I don't think we needed to be.
Yeah. It was an emotional roller coaster of a day. Going back to this morning, walking into the ice den, what made it in the lobby, opened the door to the rink, saw Petey, immediately emotional. Couldn't even speak without breaking down, and I really tried to keep it together, and I really thought that was kind of how it was going to be tonight, and there were moments where I almost lost it. But I have to say, getting the chance to talk to so many people, so many of you, I'm sure, who are watching right now, not just people who have listened to this show for 3 years, people who have listened to the show for 3 weeks, fans, staff members. I can't even express how much it meant to get to talk to everybody.
Yeah.
And echoing what you said, Petey, about what this team means, I think when we put out that tweet last week inviting people to share their photos and their memories, the response was unbelievable, just to see the impact that this team has on people and has on lives. Mm-hmm. And it's not just a game, and it's not just like, and I wrote about this, being a fan isn't something you turn on when the puck drops and turn off when the game ends. It's something that you live and you breathe and is part of your identity and part of who you are. And for that to go away for so many people is so incredibly heartbreaking. So to see everybody tonight there was a lot of joy, there was a lot of tears, there was a lot of young kids, a lot of people concerned about what's going to happen for these young kids who aren't going to have this team to look up to and in their passions. And yeah, it's just I agree with you. It didn't feel like it needed to happen, because if you put any human being in this building tonight, you know that the NHL belongs here.
Yeah. Well, I was going back, I had a thought earlier tonight, because since we're in Tempe, and I was remembering the Tempe vote, which probably started this whole thing rolling. That was probably the beginning of the end. I remember some of the arguments that, arena, you can't put public money toward it of any kind. No taxes should go toward it. You don't get the money back, right? It doesn't pay off. When I was in the arena tonight, seeing this entire community come together, I challenge people who float that just sort of utilitarian approach. Does it make sense from a numbers standpoint? I challenge those people to come into this arena tonight and tell me what the worth of that was. What is that worth to people to be able to come together for a common cause like this? That's invaluable to me. Professional sports teams are a community asset, and we're losing one. And it is an absolute gut punch to think about it.
It's the other thing is funny is there was a hockey game, and it's funny because I don't know if I saw much of it. So if you're waiting for in-depth analysis of this big tilt with the Arizona Coyotes and the Edmonton Oilers, you're probably not going to get it tonight, because one, it's really hard to see here when people are standing up, and there were a lot of standing room only people today. This felt different.
Yeah.
This felt impassioned, and people, again, when the anthems were sung and when the puck was dropped, the amount of people that understood what this moment meant, I think it was really amazing to be a part of. And I saw so many people that came. I talked to a guy who came from Massachusetts today. I saw somebody. I'm from Ohio. I just flew in, got tickets. I'm here by myself, and I'm going home. The number of people that came here from out of town, where, you know what, I used to follow this team, and then this happened, and I found the Coyotes. I picked a team in 2012, and it happened to be the Coyotes. Like, there were so many of those stories, and people, well, it doesn't work there. Well, buddy, well, you know what does? Well, you win. Remember 2012? I don't care where they put the arena. They could put the arena halfway to Tucson, and people would go because you're winning and you want to be a part of this community. And tonight, everybody felt a part of that community. Yeah. Even the Oilers fans, and I'm not taking this lightly. They weren't disrespectful. They were part of. They understood the moment too, and I think it was just everybody got together and enjoyed a hockey game together.
Yeah, it's so interesting too, because there's this feeling of why can't everybody show out like this all the time, but it does have to do with the product on the ice, and it felt like we were just getting there with the corner that was getting turned, with the youth coming on the stage. But you look around tonight, and there was something for everybody to come together and cheer for tonight, because this was a monumental special game, just like everybody came together in 2012, just like we were so close to getting to that winning and competitive team that people would have showed up for. And I don't mean to twist the knife on it, but it's just true. And, that's the culture of being a sports fan in Arizona. It's I'll just say it's pretty fair. It's very fair weather.
Sure.
It's kind of ironic because it's not fair weather here. But anywho, and there was something to cheer for tonight. And when there is, Coyotes fans show out. But I will say that's as a whole, Coyotes fans, diehard Coyotes fans who were there on horrific seasons at every single game in a jersey, no matter what. There hasn't been a lot to cheer about with this team. There hasn't. And there are still so many Coyotes fans who don't deserve this.
But this is the part that sucks. Because and we've all been there through this, for this team being in last, second to last, almost last, or this team really blows. We've been there. I just ran into Bill Armstrong not 5 minutes ago, and I first of all, I thanked him for all that he's done for us here, and I said, you built a really good team here. He said, could you see it out there tonight? And I go, yeah, I could see it. They're coming. He goes, yeah, this team's coming. And you're just like, what? Don't tell me. I don't want to hear that now. Right. But it is, and you could see it in this building. Again, it's Michelli, it's Gunther. Like, tonight again, it's the young guns coming through again. But when you talk about young guns, they're all young guns, and so Salt Lake is going to be so they're lucky.
Yep.
And even if they come on the news tomorrow and say the Coyotes got a new team and they're coming in the fall, they're going to start, but they're not. They're not.
No.
But if they
Don't
did,
fall for that.
if they did, it's not our team.
Yeah.
No.
It's not the people we've been following. And you think of all the names we've been talking about here on this show for the last 3 years. They're finally here. Akuratu got a point tonight.
Yeah. Dylan Gunther scored his 18th goal.
Yeah, a couple more
He's been here
games.
half a season.
Yeah. It's unbelievable, and that for me, that is one of the hardest parts. It's not nearly the hardest part. We're going to get to a lot of those things as we go on about what was really hard tonight, and that there were some really touching moments tonight, and I hope we get to those later.
Yep. But first, I want to give us an opportunity to welcome a special guest. So
He's
but
lurking.
you might have to
He's
Does
lurking.
that mean I got to go?
just for 1 second.
That's fine.
and-
That's okay. I don't care.
But we are gonna now welcome Patrick Brown to the set. Patrick,
Hello.
hi.
Hi.
You doing, buddy?
Hello.
I guess there was a hockey game tonight, huh?
There
Yeah.
was apparently. Patrick, welcome. How are you feeling?
I don't think, and you might have said this already. I don't know. You had me locked out.
Oh,
for-
yeah, that was on purpose. Just kidding.
I don't think it's set in. I think because for a lot of my colleagues, there isn't maybe as much to do. But for me, it's still been work, work, work. A wise
Yeah.
man once said, work, work, work. Right? And
Not so wise.
I don't think it's set in. It's starting to. I just hugged some colleagues out on the ice and signed the boards, and had some nice discussions with a couple of the players and staff, and starting to feel real. It's
Yeah.
starting to feel real. It's funny. I don't know if the Coyotes had lost tonight. I don't know how I would have felt, but the win made me feel really emotional. Seeing the passion of the fans, and when Liam scored just a couple minutes into the first period, I don't know if I've ever heard Mullett that loud.
Mm.
And I was getting emotional, and it was tough. But yeah, I'm so grateful for you, Craig, and you, Leah, and you, Petey, wherever he is.
Just
maybe-
disappeared.
Maybe doing a shot. I don't know. Bring one back for me, please. So grateful for the relationship and the friendship that we have forged, and for your amazing diehards too, and all the Coyotes fans out there. I just feel so I don't know if privileged is the right word, honored, I don't know, but been able to bring some coverage to our fans for the past couple of years, and I just feel really, really, really proud about it. And I'm so grateful that if nothing else, this brought you guys into my life. Brought these amazing fans into my life, and there is nothing like the hockey community, so we're not going to let it die here.
Well said, Patrick. Just to echo you, I'm extremely grateful that we've gotten the chance to work together. Patrick is one of the best, if not the best people I know. I'm serious.
I've got her fooled. That's good.
Does tell a lot of dad jokes.
Yeah,
so...
that's what I was going to bring up. We should bring up the dad jokes.
Did you, I wrote a book on
Oh, no.
how to fall down the stairs the right way? It's a step-by-step guide.
Oh my God, there it is.
Let's go.
There it is.
But yeah, everybody, go support Patrick's work. ArizonaCoyotes.com, and Patrick, you can follow him at pbrownhockey on Twitter as well. Patrick, any closing thoughts
thanks
to
for the plug.
listeners?
Thanks
Yeah.
for the
Of
plug. That
course.
was great.
Yeah.
No, I got to go right. I still got a game I got to recap. 'cause
Yeah, there's that.
there was a game. But again, thank you to everybody. PD, you too. Raz, just everybody. It's been an absolute privilege, and I'll carry it with me forever. So thanks, guys. Thanks for letting me crash,
Of
too.
course.
I
of
really,
course,
really
of
appreciate
We'll
course.
it.
see you soon.
Thanks, Patrick.
Yep, for sure. I'll see you bright and early.
Yes.
Yeah.
See you
Very
guys.
soon.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much to Patrick Brown, the senior writer and content producer and team reporter for the Arizona Coyotes. He's just been a part of this since we've been
Get
doing
emotional
this.
again here.
How much hugging have we done?
Yeah.
A whole lot.
Buddy, and I'm sure there's people listening, and I tried. Like, there are so many people that I had women crying on my shoulder tonight.
Mhm.
I had men crying on my shoulder tonight, and I'm so sorry because I know I had to cut a lot of those conversations short. I'm so sorry, but I wasn't gonna cry. and I didn't cry. And I don't think I'm going to cry. And people kept asking me tonight, and I got a lot of that. Are you getting emotional? I am emotional. Unfortunately for me, the emotion isn't sadness or crying. I'm pissed off. Like, I'm really mad. And I tell you, because, and this isn't the show for it tonight, and we're not going to go down that road tonight, but I'm pissed because I don't think this needed to happen.
I agree.
And I sit there and I look around, and I'll go a step farther. And this goes to all of us. We walked around the concourse. All of us talked to people all day and said, "How are you doing? How do you become a Coyotes fan?" Did we not? If Alex Meruelo Sr. would have got off his ass and gone around the concourse and shook hands and said, "How are you doing? How did you become a Coyotes fan?" Or if he engaged with the Coyotes fans the way we did tonight, maybe this would be different. If he engaged the fans and included them in what he calls his family, maybe this would be different. I don't think he ever tried to connect with the fan base.
I agree.
I don't know if he was interested in connecting with the fan base. And if you're not going to connect with the fan base, how can you own a sports team that wants to win or compete or be a part of a community? That's what sports are. You're part of a community. We just said it. And if you're not willing to do that as an owner, well, I just want to make sure we get this local bar and restaurant. I get a piece of land here. Well, then, buddy, that's not sports.
Yeah.
Sports is this.
That's I agree with you there. That I don't think that's the part that I don't know if it was an unwilling. Ooh, look at me tearing apart the set here. An unwillingness to embrace it, or just a complete lack of understanding that that's what you need to do.
Yes.
I know they've been in a lot of other industries. This is different. This is public facing. These are your stakeholders out here. They need to know that you care. They need to know you. And we said this so early on in the process that if you're going to be the owner of this franchise, you have to be a public figure. You have to be out there. It's necessary in a market like this. I never interviewed the guy.
How is that possible?
How is that possible? How is that possible? He had his introductory news conference. That was it. That was it.
That's the last time you saw him?
Last time, well, not time. Last time I
no,
saw him,
you know what I
but
mean.
in terms of an
On the
actual
record
interview. Yeah, that was it.
Come on.
You can't do that in this market. But
This market,
beyond,
sports market.
beyond media, again, getting back to the fans, like, those are your stakeholders. Those are the people paying for tickets. They are supporting the team, and you're not supporting them. You're not supporting them. How do you not get that basic equation? And if you didn't get it initially, how was someone not out there saying, "Hey, wake up here. This isn't working the way you're doing it"? Aside from all the other crap that was going on with this ownership group, with their business dealings and all the other things we've heard about, you just failed on that very basic part of the equation.
Yeah.
And for the record, he was not.
He wasn't here tonight?
Nope.
Wasn't here to face the music?
Not even
I can't
here
even decide
hiding
how
in
I
his
feel
suite.
about
He
that.
was
No,
just
I'm glad he
not
wasn't
here.
Because part of me thinks they should not have been here, because you let this be about the fans and
Yes, I agree.
not about that.
And
I don't know.
I will say I was pleased, and yes, we did hear some chants, but I was very pleased to feel that the general atmosphere was, we're going to support this team and we are going to cheer till the very end. And like, I've never heard more "Let's Go Coyotes" chants in my life. That was the vibe of tonight, and I'm really glad that's the direction it went, because there's a lot of bitterness on behalf of the Coyotes fans, as there should be.
Sure.
As there should be. And we, again, we heard some chants, but
We heard some Salt Lake chants.
yes.
not your fault, Salt Lake.
It's
No,
not your
it's
fault
not
at
your
all.
fault, Salt
But,
Lake.
but we're not warm and fuzzy with you right now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't invite us over to dinner quite yet.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of like getting your spouse stolen.
Yeah, it's just a minute.
Come
Just
on.
give us a hot minute here.
Yeah, but I was really, really, really just happy to see that it was full support mode.
Yeah. It
Full,
was a celebration. It
it
was
really
a
felt like a
celebration.
celebration.
Yep.
It really did. And it's just, I keep going back to this. I keep going back to Josh Doan's first game and how that was one of the best experiences I've ever had in a hockey arena. And it felt like the mood of the crowd in that game was, Josh Doan is our guy.
Yep.
He was born here. He was raised here. He was drafted here. And now he's here on the ice. This is our guy. That was the vibe of that night. The vibe of tonight was, this is our team.
Yeah.
For 28 years, this has been our team that we've cheered for through every high, through every low, through every bullshit ownership situation, through every losing season, through every rebuild, through every failed rebuild. The fans have been here. And this team And honestly, Josh Doan himself said it best this morning. For one more night, this is Arizona's team, and that was the vibe tonight.
Just cut to the chase in Salt Lake City. And just make him captain. Just get it done.
Yeah.
My God, what a
It's not far off, is it?
Wow, is he well spoken?
He's so impressive.
And one other group I wanted to point out tonight. We talked about the fans. We talked about
I know where
teams.
you're going here. Yeah.
But there's another interesting group that we heard a lot from tonight, and it's the employees of the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah.
And I will say this: I know a lot still because I was there and not far removed, and I talked to a lot of them tonight, and it was a lot of hugging and a lot of, hey, you're gonna be okay. But there was a large contingent of Arizona Coyote employees that I don't know, never seen before, don't know them, and their comments to this was heart-wrenching.
Yep.
Because they're getting their information from the three of us. My buddy, and that's too bad. They literally don't know. No one's talked to them at all. Not even now.
Not even to say, hey, just want to see if you're okay.
Yes.
Nope.
Oh, God, no.
No concern whatsoever. No concern whatsoever.
No. And I saw tears from employees going, we don't know.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have a meeting today, cancel it. We don't know. And so we can sit here and go, we lost our team, and that's devastating. We talked about that, but conventional is your job, your health insurance.
Yeah.
My God, it's devastating. It's devastating. It's really this hits people on so many different levels. And by the way, team played really good tonight, and the team knew it right away. The crowd knew it right away. That team, that first 2 minutes, this team was buzzing. And that's what the Mullett Magic used to be like here. That's what it used to feel like when this team played at home. You go, oh my gosh, that hard building to play in. You know, the Oilers with Connor McDavid were on their heels tonight. From an unbelievable, the players understood the importance of this. I was worried they were going to go, it's not worth it. I've given up. You know what I mean? Like this team's moving. Let's just move on. This team responded. They played incredibly well, and I tell you, the players understood the moment.
They did. And I will say, too, watching their faces saluting the crowd, because I was standing on the concourse, but they had close-ups on the Jumbotron, and it was just really, really emotional to see. They were all, well, first of all, the whole staff went on the ice as well. Everybody, clapping. And you could just see it, I don't know, just see the look on the players' face, looks of gratitude and appreciation, looks of people soaking in the moment. You really could see that from their faces. And what you said, they understood the moment and they were soaking it in, just like the fans were soaking it in, knowing that this was the last game. The players were soaking it in as well.
Yeah, that last minute was amazing. Yeah. That last minute, everybody
on their feet applauding
for the final minute as the countdown. It was
salute.
Chilling, literally chilling.
Yeah. Not a lot of players. We know a lot of players love living here, but we just waded through families, right? We saw wives. This is hitting a lot of them hard. It's hitting a lot of them hard, and I know there's been some challenge to the idea that players don't want to go to Salt Lake City. It's a nuanced thing, is what it is. It's not necessarily that they don't want to go to Salt Lake City. They don't want to leave Arizona. They love living here.
Right.
It means a lot to a lot of them, whether they've got new houses or expecting babies, or they've just made a home here.
Yeah.
It means something to people. It's not as simple as saying, yeah, they absolutely want to play for a legitimate owner who takes care of them. That's the piece that's missing here. That's the piece that they're hoping they're going to get in Salt Lake City, but they had a lot of other things that they really loved about living here, and we saw it. We saw someone's wife in particular, I don't want to call people out, but literally crying about the idea of leaving as we were just coming down to do our show. So it's tough on a lot of people.
Yeah, and we talk about it too, and I'll be clear, and I've been to Salt Lake, as we said before. Shout out to Def Leppard. But it's a fine city. It's great. People are great. Community's great. This isn't about Salt Lake City. It's
not at all.
It's not. And the narrative that Craig hit it on the head. And a lot of this is going to circle back to the owner. And buddy, if you think I'm done talking about this owner on PHNX Coyotes podcast, you're wrong. Stay tuned. Not tonight, but stay tuned. This comes down to that. And it's even not even playing in front of Mullett. okay, the novelty's kind of worn off. It's been 2 years here, and the prospect of playing 3 more here, they didn't want to do that.
No, they didn't.
The players didn't want to do that. They want to play. They're in the National Hockey League. They earned it. They worked hard. They want to play in a National Hockey League building, and I understand and respect that. And without a future plan for that to happen, I get it. I do.
Even that goes back to ownership, though, right? So,
but that's my point.
Fire away, yeah.
And that's ownership. But, and we heard it with our good friend Frank Saravelli was saying today, it's the periphery stuff of ownership. We talked about this owner making the fans feel part of the community.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he made the players feel like it.
Right.
And hey, here's a big surprise. Professional athletes, they're people too. And they want to be treated well. They wanted to be cared for, and they wanted to be. Can I go sideways?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go
Okay.
sideways.
So this is a complete aside. This just shows a little bit about this owner. And I can prove this. And if people are questioning my sources, the source is me. So if you know who you are. Owners give players and staff Christmas presents. It's a thing. They don't need to spend much. It's not about the money because players have everything they want. And there's been great gifts. We had blue Wi-Fi Bose speakers before there was Wi-Fi. It was super cool. One of the best gifts I ever got. Robes. In the robes. Players got robes with their name and number on it. They love those damn robes, right? So those were great presents. And they're just trying to connect with their players. Do you want to know what the Coyotes got in the first Christmas from this ownership group? I know because I didn't use it. I got a letter that said a free night at the Sahara in Las Vegas with a little chip, no cash value, used for gaming tables only. And on the bottom of this thing, for a free night at the Sahara, at the bottom of it is restrictions apply. These dates aren't available. Can't use on weekends. Have to stay in the old tower. And I'm like, Merry freaking Christmas. Thank you. Nobody used it. Nobody went to Sahara to go to Vegas. He just didn't understand what players do. Watch Mark Cuban take care of his players. Yeah. Go look at a player stall at the Dallas Mavericks. Go look at what they're doing at the Toronto Maple Leafs. You need to take care of your players and make them feel like they're a part of a community. And I don't think that ever happened here. I don't think the players felt that. So when you hear the comments about the players wanting to leave, it's not because they want to leave Arizona. It's not that they want to leave the fan base here. It's not. They love it here. They want to be treated like an NHL athlete, and they're tired of not being treated like an NHL athlete.
Petey, how do you parse? How do you fit into this? And I agree with you. How do you fit into this, the massive losses that Alex Meruelo is sustaining here? And by the way, we heard that they're making so much money. Yeah, they're making money at this arena, making more than like overall, this team lost a ton of money this year. Like I've been told, it's north of $60 million they'll lose this season. So how do you?
No, it's true.
Put that into the equation because he is losing a lot of money. How do you factor that into everything?
Yeah, it's true, and that is part of it. But again, were there opportunities for him to create some of those missteps so they would go away so he could find an opportunity to make money?
Yes.
I.e., get a building. And you have to spend money to make money. If he spent more money at the Tempe vote, perhaps.
Yep.
Maybe the vote would have gone differently. He'd be building a building. He'd have more revenue. He'd have more corporate dollars. He'd have more suites sold. He'd have the land around it. He'd be building condos and apartments and getting rent, and maybe he'd make more money. I don't know. You're right. The loss. I think the biggest problem with Alex Meruelo here was he was losing money, and it drove him absolutely insane.
Yep.
How much money he was losing. And when you're losing that much money, you started you're throwing dollars out the window, and he's picking up nickels off the floor.
Yeah.
And that's where it got hard, because when you started and you hear about the unpaid bills and those type of things, they were happening because of the loss of money. Clearly, he didn't want to write checks because he was tired of losing money. And I can't fault him for that. I understand it. But when all is said and done tomorrow, when we all wake up and the fans are going home without a hockey team, and the employees, some of them going home without a job and maybe health insurance, and the players are packing up their homes, there's one guy sitting at home and rolling around in a pile full of money.
Yeah, he ain't losing money anymore. He's about to sell this for $1 billion.
Yeah, so it is kind of ironic that when you point the fingers at where this really all comes down to, it's him, and he's going to come out of this going, he's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and I'm not. I didn't want. I want to make this a celebration about the game, and I will change
this
paths
is part
here.
of the story. It's okay. It's okay. It's part of the story. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of what people were feeling tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm frustrated by it. And I know that there's a lot of frustrated people now because I think what we saw tonight is there is a hockey fan base here, and there are people that care, and there are people that want to support a team. Honestly, win, lose, or draw. They've been showing up for this team for 25 years.
Yep.
They've been showing up for a team that win, lose, or draw, and has been at the bottom. But when they're at the top, and I'll go to 2012, and I'm sorry, there's teams that have won the Cup. They haven't done that here in Arizona, but the Western Conference Final in 2012 was amazing.
Yeah.
There was a buzz going to that arena, being a part of this community then, and it's coming again, and knowing that it was ripped away from us right when it's starting to get back to those point where they're going to have playoff games is just disheartening.
Yep, it is. And by the way, met so many people tonight who flew in from
Yeah, it was crazy,
We
wasn't
had
it?
diehards from all over.
Pittsburgh, New York, Kitchener, Ontario,
Sweden. I talked to someone from Sweden. Flew in for the game.
Colorado. I met.
Well, I'm
like,
hoping they're staying a couple days.
Yeah,
and not just turn around
seriously.
and going back tomorrow.
Yeah, that
Oh
was
my
epic.
gosh!
Are you
like,
serious?
just unbelievable. And you know, haters will say there's no Coyotes fans. I'm here to tell you there's a lot of Coyotes fans, and not just here in Arizona. There are Coyotes fans far and wide.
Worldwide.
And we want to continue the celebration of the Coyotes, and we are going to do that next Wednesday, April 24th.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
At Four Peaks at the A Street Pub for a celebration of the Coyotes community. Doors open at 6 p.m. The event starts at 7 p.m. Tickets are $5, and all proceeds
Do we have a limit
benefit
on those tickets, Leah?
the Arizona Cochinas.
Can we
So,
just keep
wait,
bringing
wait.
people in the door?
But I want to say what Leah just said, where the money goes. I think it's really important.
Yes. Yeah. So
Support,
that's why I'm
yes,
asking.
yeah, supporting the Arizona Cochinas. There's also a place on the RSVP link, which is on our website, gophnx.com/events. There's a place if you want to add an additional donation to the Cochinas. We want to help support youth hockey here in Arizona.
They deserve it.
Yeah, and it's
if we
going to
can
be
help, we're gonna.
Yeah, it's going to be a really, really, really great event at Four Peaks. We're going to have, and this is not just a PHNX event. This is an event for anybody, fans, staff, players, current, former, anybody who wants to come and celebrate the Arizona Coyotes. We're going to do that on April 24th, next Wednesday at 7 p.m. at the Four Peaks 8th Street Pub. So.
That's the point I wanted to make. Come on down, Coyote staff.
Come on down.
Yeah.
Come on down. Come
and I
join
know
us.
we're calling to people. I've already talked to a few of the staff members tonight, and a few of them might like beer. And guess they have that at Four Peaks. Yep. And I know Craig's going to reach out to some former Coyotes too, and we're just and again, it's a celebration. It's a celebration, and it's just another chance for us to all get together as a hockey community. And I really appreciate that we're trying to help out youth hockey here in this city. And I'm going to vow personally, it's important that kids get an opportunity to play hockey. And when this team leaves, I was going to say if again, and I can't. When this team leaves, I still want kids to pick up a hockey stick and pick up skates. My town is a town of 10,000. Guess what? They didn't have NHL hockey, and everybody played. So we can make this happen. We just got to support each other in getting it done.
Yep. Well, one other thing going on tonight, I had some bets out. One of those bets, Dylan Gunther, anytime goal scorer, cashed. Coyotes money line was a lock, by the way.
It was a lock.
It was a lock. So I got all of those over at BetMGM, and I won myself some money. And even though the Coyote season is over, the NHL playoffs are about to begin, and what better time to bet than on the NHL playoffs and the NBA playoffs, also already underway. So you can sign up for BetMGM, use the bonus code PHNX, place your first BetMGM sportsbook wager through the BetMGM sportsbook mobile app for at least $10. You'll receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if the bet loses. Check out the show notes for full details. And now listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Bonus bets expire in 7 days. One new customer offer only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, North Carolina, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
And then pick yourself up for Four Peaks, because if I ever needed a Four Peaks, it would be now. Unfortunately, we are not at our regular PHNX studios where the Four Peaks fridge is right there, because I could really use a
Four Peaks.
Buddy, I could use a wow, and I'm not sure by the time I get home if I will be having a wow, but if you need any beer, any flavor, go to Four Peaks, because they are the official beer of PHNX. And I'm going to get myself a Kilt Lifter, a wow, whatever your beer flavor is for any type of event, weather, stop at Four Peaks. We're going to be at Four Peaks Pub. Make sure you check out everything going on at Four Peaks. Visit fourpeaks.com/locator to find all of your favorite beers and events. Check out at Four Peaks Brew or at Four Peaks Pub to keep up with the latest at Arizona's hometown brewery. You must be 21 or older to drink Four Peaks, and please enjoy it responsibly.
Craig.
Yeah, I just want to call attention. We were talking about proceeds going to the Kachinas, and we've been talking a lot about youth hockey and development here. I just want to call attention. I think a lot of people saw it already, judging by the interaction with it. But we're going to have more details on this on Monday. But I did hear from someone that several influential hockey and business leaders are getting together in Arizona to build a foundation for hockey development to keep it going after the Coyotes leave. That's really important because you worry. I reported that if the Coyotes are able to move the Roadrunners up here, that it's part of the reason is to continue to support youth hockey. But we don't know what that looks like, right? We heard the words, but we haven't seen the actions. It might be a good idea if youth hockey can figure out a way to be self-sustaining or find other ways of getting support. And I think that's what's at play here. And like I said, we're going to have more details on our Monday show.
Yep.
Might even have a guest.
Buddy, I'm all about youth hockey. Matter of fact, I got to talk to Scott Gruber this morning, who's in charge of like the house leagues at the Ice Den, and there's a concern level.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I saw Mike DeAndrews, who's in charge of the travel programs here at the Ice Den, Scottsdale. And again, there's a concern level. And you've seen what kind of hockey players can be produced out of this desert because they're kind of good. And you don't want that to go away. To get away. And I'm hopeful that we'll be talking about a lot of youth hockey here in the weeks to come. So we'll make sure that we can do our part.
We are now going to spend approximately 1 minute talking about the actual game.
Okay.
Because
is this a speed read? Or are you going to do that?
Yeah, there was a game tonight. The Coyotes defeated the Edmonton Oilers 5-2 in their final game at Mullett Arena. Their final game in Arizona for now, I guess.
Good luck against Vegas, Edmonton.
Yeah. And let's take a look at the numbers presented by Desert Financial Credit Union, Arizona's #1 credit union, named by Forbes. Take a look. Shots on goal, 30 for the Oilers, 24 for the Coyotes. Oilers 1 for 2. Coyotes, wasn't Gunther's goal a power play goal?
I thought it was, actually.
It was. But it's okay.
HK.
It's all good.
I switched him.
Oh,
I messed that one up.
Wait,
so,
just that one or
no?
all
Just
of
that
them?
one.
Okay,
just that one.
Okay, thank you.
So Coyotes were 1 for 2 on the power play. Oilers are 0 for 2.
Okay, cool. And then shot attempts, Oilers had 64, Coyotes had 40. And just to point out, and Craig, you had a great tweet about this earlier about the schooling the What Chaos guys in this trivia. Who scored the first goal in the final Coyotes game, and who had Liam O'Brien on their bingo card, of course.
Right. And which rookie made his debut in the final game in Arizona? That was bizarre.
Oh boy, I am so sorry, everybody.
It's okay, but it's approaching midnight, and for the first time in a long time, it actually is approaching midnight. Sorry, Bronco. Bronco's watching this. I don't know, but it's bedtime. Bronco's getting ready for the playoffs. Wait till I'm going to verify some of these travel stories with Bronco before we get going. Sorry.
Oh boy, I think I was just talking about Doan Gunther scoring his 18th season, continuing to twist the knife for us to see the future, and we can also add to the trivia of who scored the last goal in Coyotes 1.0 history and the last goal ever in an NHL game at Mullett Arena, and that is Sean Dursey in the empty net.
The other guy's part of their future.
Yeah.
So there's our game talk for you.
That's the game
That's
talk.
all you get.
And Connor Ingram flowers, as you saw. By the way,
Connor Ingram?
Can he get flowers?
Yeah.
What do you do?
They won. They only gave up a couple goals. By the way, how about that moment? We haven't talked about that moment after the game. All of the players going to get their sticks off of the stick rack.
Yeah. And
proceeded to throw them into the stands. A lot of lucky fans here tonight at Mullett. And I tell you what, it was hard to watch that part. And you know who else was hard to watch? You know who owns those sticks? Alex Meruelo Sr. owns those sticks. So I'm sure those players will be charged in the morning. Look for the invoices in your stall.
Yeah, and make sure you pay your taxes on your tickets. Oh, did I say that? Oops. Hey, no, I just wanted to chirp Connor Ingram because, I hadn't chirped him in a while, and he was noting that I hadn't chirped him in a while, that I haven't chirped him on Twitter in a while. In fact, he was saying I hadn't showed up. shown up in a while after calling me Jake from State Farm.
Oh.
So yeah, there it is.
I chirped the
Connor.
young guys.
I chirped you again. So
And I chirped the young guys today too on their walk into the locker room.
And
today,
by the
too.
way, like Bear, first of all, so funny. So Bear walks up to the press conference. I've never seen more media related to Arizona Coyotes in my entire life than tonight.
definitely not in this building.
Nope. And there was a massive scrum. He's walking up, and he was walking right by me to walk up, and he kind of looks at me and goes, Jesus, which is hilarious. But then after the scrum, he was shaking hands with people, and he shook my hand. He said, now you have to put up with Craig.
That's the thing too.
Yeah, and he's not wrong. It was a different vibe behind the curtain tonight, wasn't it? It was a different vibe for the players, and I tell you, a lot of them were hanging around in the back, the equipment room, and it was just different. It was different. I don't know if guys really wanted to leave here tonight. It was different, and it was funny because you guys were at the media scrum, so you missed some of this. I went out by the ice when you guys were talking to the coach, and you know who was still out there? Josh Doan.
Shocking.
Logan Cooley were the last two guys out there, and they were just signing autographs and talking to people and taking pictures, and you just go, that's the part that we're going to miss.
Yep.
There's just this new breed.
There's the future.
And that's hard. And that's hard because I teased with Josh. I was talking to him yesterday, and I was saying every time you score, like, you kind of just dig the knife in a little deeper, and we're kind of pissed. So just keep doing it. But you're just making us really unhappy for the future. But speaking of the future with Josh Doan, we're going to see Josh Doan in the future, like in a few days, right?
Yep, Saturday.
Yeah,
I don't know if he'll be playing that game, by the way. We're going down to Tucson on Saturday, but I would doubt that Josh Doan will be in the lineup.
This is going to be a whirlwind, by the way.
Can you
The next-
imagine?
All that
the
we've got
next
to cover.
3
over the next
days.
few days. Yeah.
Holy moly.
They're the guys who head down to Tucson. My understanding, like, it's tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I got that confirmed.
Yeah.
They're all going to play still. I don't know if they're going to play Saturday.
Yeah,
Especially because Tucson won in Coachella tonight.
unbelievable.
They won in Coachella.
Can you
today.
imagine getting the speaking of hockey, that's playoff hockey.
Yeah.
And they're playing well, and they're getting an influx of some pretty darn good players who are all playing pretty well right now.
Yeah, how much is it going to help to add a Dylan Gunther to that lineup?
Oh
the guy who's on
God.
just like a 35-goal pace here in the NHL right now.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it's amazing. And we talked about what Josh Doan did, not just on the ice, but off the ice, what he does to that team down there as a leader. Like, and we're talking about a rookie. He's part of the
Kesselring will
rookie
be
team.
down there too.
And we've seen Kesselring take a step in his hockey playing. We're talking about his offensive game and his speed and his ability to get pucks up the ice. We've seen him grow as a player offensively, and I think that down in the American League, you know how that's going to translate, getting pucks up the ice?
Yeah, they're an interesting team to
It's going to be
watch in
interesting
the
to see,
playoffs.
because a lot of teams don't get this. I tell you what, the Vegas Golden Knights aren't sending anybody down to Henderson.
Yeah, this Henderson's not in the playoffs, so. But I guess Coachella Valley gets them. But you're right, like half the teams in the Pacific aren't getting players back. So
I'm excited. I'm excited to get. So, you know what?
but
Positive
again,
news.
Yeah,
I know,
I am,
but they're not our
it's-
team anymore.
Yeah. Well, sort of.
I know, sort of,
kind
of.
Don't. By the way, got some more information tonight, and I don't know that the Roadrunners are going to be playing in Phoenix or Tempe. I don't know if that's going to happen after all.
Interesting. But
Stay
I
tuned.
would love for them to stay in Tucson
Can
personally.
I cough? How do I cough here?
You can move your
You do that.
mouthpiece. Yep.
Oh, straight up.
Yeah.
You guys want to watch me cough? Here we go.
They have no choice,
Jesus.
really. Oh, boy.
Are people still watching this?
I think so.
Oh, by the
Lunatics are
way,
with us still.
if you're here with us on
We love
YouTube,
you,
please
you
hit
lunatics.
hit the thumbs up button. Really appreciate it. But yeah, speaking of Josh Doan, we've talked about him a lot tonight, but we had the chance to talk to him after the game. So here's what Josh Doan had to say about tonight.
Yeah, I think on the ice it was good to get a win and good to finish the season off that way on a high note. And to see the support and the give that we had at the end there from our team and from the fans was awesome. And then even off the ice when people are still out there making noise and having a good time. So it's really cool to see.
This is maybe a little more meaningful for your particular family than others. I'm just curious how this whole thing has played out, how it's impacted your family.
Yeah, I mean, my dad, he came back tonight, and I don't think the plan for him was to come back. He was set on being there for the rest of the year and being involved with the playoffs over in Toronto, and for him to come back and come out of his way and to do that it shows how much it means to him. And I think to my sisters that were there tonight, my mom, it obviously it'll be emotional for them. It's something that they've been a part of their whole lives. So obviously everything with it being up in the air is tough right now, and I think it's just kind of taking it day by day and seeing what's going to happen.
The whole Doan family was here again, as they should be, right?
Yeah.
They're the royal family.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have their own box, like one level higher than everyone else.
Standing ovation for his dad. Too.
Yeah, it was up on the screen. This is, I mean, among the many storylines that are tough to swallow here, this one's tough to swallow too. I know it, and I know it's tough to swallow for Shane. I know you got a chance to talk to him. I got a chance to talk to him earlier today. He's crushed, just crushed by this, absolutely crushed.
He's
you can hear it in his voice. You can, yeah.
He's when you talk about Shane Doan and the Arizona Coyotes, you talk about a player that's been loyal to this community for his entire career. He had opportunities to leave. There were times that people told him to leave. There really were. To get out of here. You need to go try to win. Go try to win a cup and get out. But he stayed because he was committed to this city, this fan base, this organization, and sadly, it just didn't pay him back. And when they showed him on the big screen today in the third period, and standing ovation, the entire crowd, and again, we talk about the Edmonton Oilers crowd, they understood, and they were a part of that too. It was the entire crowd, and he's one of the people that I feel for the most in all of this, because he did sacrifice a lot for this community. If not for Shane Doan, this team wouldn't have made it here this long, because his relationships with politicians, business leaders,
and the commissioner,
because he understood the importance of relationships.
Yep.
And it was sincere, and you just could feel. We got a chance to talk to him. I don't know if it's up yet or if
It'll
it's going
be
up.
up by tomorrow.
Okay, so we got a chance to. It'll be my official last walking and talking with the Arizona Coyotes organization. Ended up being with Shane Doan, and
it's a pretty good walk off.
It was different. It was a different tenor from
Yeah.
him. He didn't. He always says the right thing. He always knows when to say the right thing, and it was different tonight because he didn't know how to put this into words. And I think I'm so frustrated that his legacy has to be. I don't tainted is not the right word, but it has to end like this. It's just not fair.
Yeah. At least he got his banner back.
Oh my God, it was in the garbage. Was it in the garbage?
It was.
I don't know. I don't know where Matthew Jacobson found it.
It was not.
Shout out.
I don't think it was. I think
Shout
it was
out.
not in the storage room. I don't think
it was in a storage room.
Shout out Matthew Jacobson.
Matthew Jacobson
for,
saved the day.
Yeah, and that was a really special moment tonight.
And then, by the way, Matthew Jacobson, who ended up taking the banner home, his wife is quite thrilled that he has passed that banner back along to Josh Doan, because when you have a giant banner in your living room, not cool.
I felt like he could have just worn it as a toga.
Oh, buddy, you see how big that thing was? It was
pretty
massive.
cool.
It was not in the garbage, by the way.
Yeah.
It was not.
Matt, I also like the change to Banner Man on Twitter.
Oh.
I feel like that is
We
very
talked about that.
very appropriate.
We talked
Buddy,
about
did you see how he's in fuego on the internet?
That's great.
Buddy.
Oh boy.
Good for him. And it's back to its rightful owner.
Amen.
The only thing I wanted to see is I wanted to see Shane throw it over the railing and hold both ends.
Oh, that
So
would
just
have been sick.
It kind of waved in the out of his suite in Mullett Arena. I think that would have been a fitting close.
It should have been hanging in Mullett Arena.
You think?
This time, because ASU was absolutely open to it.
You
'cause I
think
asked.
ASU would have been okay with the name Doan out there?
I asked, and they said absolutely. It never made its way over
At
here.
the time, they had a Doan playing on their team.
And
Didn't
you know, the Coyotes were contacted about it, as Leah tweeted, because you know how we know? Because it was us that did it.
So here's this whole thing about media, and this has come up a lot in the last few weeks, about sources and reliable sources and who has the right sources and who doesn't. And there's been, buddy, people had this story right. I had it wrong. There you go. I didn't think this team was going to move to Salt Lake City. I was wrong. There are people in this market who had it right. But when we're telling some of these stories, it was us. Like, was the team contacted? Damn right they were, because I called them.
Yeah,
I picked up the phone.
Me too.
So I told them who had it. I told them where it was, and I told them how they could get it. So if anybody says that they weren't contacted,
Yeah, bullshit.
yeah. So I don't, like, All I can do is I'm going to tell a lot of stories over the next 2 weeks. Trust me. And again, I won't do it tonight. But it's not because I have sources. It's because it happened to me.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry if I'm not following. I didn't go to journalism school like everybody else in this room. God, there's a lot of journalism students here. Jeez. We got a professor here in journalism. So I don't do it by the right way, but I'm only going to tell stories that affected me and that I saw personally. So there you go. That did not happen. We contacted the team. It did not go in the trash. It was brought home by a gentleman that worked there that saw it in a storeroom. Let me know it was there. The rest is what you saw tonight.
Bingo. Seeing Shane, talking to Shane, just reminded me of what's always been missing in this city. And I don't mean to come back to this point and hammer this, but an ownership group that really gets this market. We've never had that. It's always been outsiders.
Yeah.
It's always been outsiders that we've dealt with that really aren't invested in the community, don't know the key people in the community, don't bring those people together to support the community. Yeah. We've been missing that the whole time. Yeah. You know who could bring all those people together?
I do.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that other people didn't see that value.
Yeah. And listen, you can make arguments for the other, like, oh, should he be president of hockey operations? No. I get that.
Yes.
Let him get some experience, which he's getting now.
Yes.
But in terms of that other piece, man, you want to talk about a dream for the future if this thing ever comes back in expansion.
Yeah.
How about a Shane Doan-led ownership group? Yeah. Sign me up.
Yep, I'm in.
Sign me up.
I think
because he's the guy who has all the connections in this valley, could bring major names together, whoever those names are.
Yeah.
You think Jerry Colangelo would support Shane Doan? Probably. Like I can come up with a lot of big names that know Shane Doan. And
politically, do you think a mayor of all the suburbs and cities and would support something that Shane Doan came and knocked on their door? Of course.
He was close with Senator John McCain. He had those relationships.
Yes.
And you, again, understanding the importance of local relationships and fostering those relationships through your behavior.
Right.
Through the way you conduct yourself.
Yes.
That's how you do it.
And it was sincere and it was real and it wasn't for ulterior motives. He's a nice guy.
Yep.
And he did it
genuine.
He did it to support this community. And you talked his relationships with politicians and business leaders. It was because he cared about this community. And that's why he stayed in this community. Mm-hmm. Because he cared about this community, cared about the people in this community. And if anybody's had the opportunity to come across Shane Doan, you know he's sincere. He'll listen to your stories. He wants to know.
Buddy, he'll talk your ear off.
And
you'll be the one
every time I saw him
tonight, how do I get out of this conversation?
Every time I saw him tonight, he was talking to somebody, and at one point there was a line outside of his suite of people waiting to just either shake his hand or talk to him or get an autograph, and he was entertaining every single one of them.
So that's what we're gonna put that out into the universe. What you just said with a Shane Doan led ownership group. I'm going to
sign me up.
I'm going to put that out into the universe. I know he's part of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they got the playoffs, at least the first round. Sorry.
Did you really take that shot? He flew all the way home.
On the Coyotes, you're going to take that shot. Ever Coyotes post-game show. Petey's taking shots at the
Leafs again. Sorry. We're gonna have. Am I going to talk to Raz about the playoffs later this week?
Yeah.
Tree just dropped off our show.
I know. Tree. Julie even graciously reached out. I'm just teasing. It's going to be a heck of a matchup with those Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Great series.
Oh my goodness. Oh man. Well, also in that massive scrum we talked about earlier with Andre Tourigny, he was asked about living in Arizona as well and leaving here and what his thoughts are on Arizona, and if he'll miss the Valley, and here's what Andre Tourigny had to say.
For sure we'll miss it. Like I said, people here are from the Valley. What do not like about the Valley? There's a paradise. It's near here. I don't know where it is, but it's not far from here.
Great quote. There's a paradise. It's near
I've always
here.
thought about, like, in terms of hockey season, Arizona's like, it's the perfect place.
Yeah.
You get to leave for the heat, right?
Yeah.
But you are here for like the 8 months of great weather.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And they love living here. Sorry, other markets. And more players and coaches are realizing, hey, quality of life is something that I should seek in my career too.
Yeah, it's interesting. It was his candid comments today. You saw that side of him. He's usually I mean, he's always friendly, but he's usually buttoned up with the right quotes. And today he let that guard down a little bit to show a little bit who he was, and it was to share that with this community. And it's, again, we're not here to bash or talk down any other communities. We love it here in Arizona. That's why we all live here.
Yep.
We love it here, and I think these players do too. And when we talk about winters,
Yeah.
buddy, this is a great place to be when you're talking about hockey season.
Yeah. And I like it. How many players have you heard say it? Like, I think Matty Dumba said it recently that, if this
Yes.
place had the right ownership group, it's a top 5 destination in the
Yes.
NHL.
It's funny because when under the Dave Tippett coach era, that time when we were looking to sign free agents, and I remember we're going after Alex Goligoski at the time, and it was about trying to get a destination city, and it was more about winning. But I think it's more than that. And I think for a player, you're right. I think it's the facilities. I don't think taking a golf cart from where you change your clothes to the practice rink in the rain in the winter, like, come on. Like, that's not professional.
Yep.
So those things matter. When you give a tour to a player, you show them your facilities, free agents, and you go, look at what we have here. And unfortunately, Arizona could never do that.
Yeah.
If they do, I do believe if they have the facilities and an ownership group that backs them, and they build a good arena, this community will be an amazing destination for NHL free agents to come. And I hope that date is sooner rather than later, because I really believe this is a great hockey market. It's just nobody figured out how to make it work because they didn't do it in the right location, and they are always more concerned about the real estate deal than they were the hockey team.
Glendale. Thank you, Steve Elman.
So many mistakes.
Yep.
So many mistakes.
Well, there was a great yogurt shop they had there. Oh, wait, no, that went bankrupt too. Sorry. Everything they built there went bankrupt. But again, he walked away with a pile of money too. It is funny how all these owners screwed everything up, and every one of them walks away with
fans
money.
Not the
deserve
American way.
financial
Yeah.
compensation.
CEOs get raises after they lay off 300 people.
That's crazy,
Hey,
man.
look at I solved the problem. I've ruined 300 lives. Give me a raise.
Oy,
God bless
oy.
America.
Well, we had a full crew here tonight.
Yes, we did.
We had Shane here on video, Michaela here on social, Danielle here on photo, Raz here on everything,
And Saul Bookman on the drums.
and Jacob here on this whole setup.
Yeah. this is
But
great.
Danielle, obviously, great photographer, and there were some great fans and some great signs here at Mullett tonight. So Danielle, can we take a look at some of the signs? Yotes Forever. This one.
I met her after the game.
Oh, really?
Yep. I gave her a fist pump at the end of the game. They were walking out, the whole family. It's really sad.
Let's take a look at the next one. These players earned howlin' for our home team. Sorry, I can't really read from here. I think that's what that says. This one says, thanks for the memories, our players. We love our players and we'll be cheering from AZ. That one is beautiful. This one I loved. Meruelo is losing my religion.
Oh, wow.
Very deep, but
Very
I
deep.
liked it. And this one I felt like was very simple.
Oh,
Alex, we trusted you.
wow.
And that one is just a piece of paper sign
So,
and
I
kind of the most powerful
I
message of them all.
want to tail on that comment, Craig, and I want to ask you this. We know Alex Meruelo has not been involved in the community. He doesn't know the people, doesn't know the fan base. I don't see him going through the crowd shaking hands. I haven't seen him.
I don't think he knows his employees.
Well, we're going to talk about that later. Do you think he knows how this hockey community feels about him right now? Do you think it resonates with him and has hit him?
I think he's gotten the message. I don't know if he understands the depth of it. I don't know if they're self-aware enough
Yeah.
to truly understand what they've done, how they've impacted this community so negatively with what they've done or what they've failed to do on numerous occasions, all the missteps. I don't want to go through the laundry list of it again.
We'll do that at another time.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So
Do it
here's
in
my
a story.
question. Here's my question. So is there an opportunity, but we've heard about the 5-year, questionable 6-year window of him and an expansion team and all of these things. And he's come out and said he's going to win the land auction. He is going to get a team back here. He's going to throw the Kachina back on him, and we're going to go from there. Is there time for him to repair the damage that he's done in this community? Because all I heard tonight, and I'm not saying 1 or 2 people, I'm saying 100 people want the team back, don't want him to own it.
Yeah.
And I'm talking, there were so many fans that I heard that from. And I will tell you this, those comments came from a lot more people than just fans.
Oh, I agree with you. I mentioned this earlier. I don't know if I said it on the air or not, but if you did some public opinion polling right now, buddy, those numbers from what was that?
My phone fell.
Oh, I thought maybe the building was caving in on us. I don't know what percentage would support him at this point, but I feel confident saying it'd be less than 10%.
So can he repair that? Because if he doesn't,
it's a lot of work.
If he doesn't repair that with political leaders, business leaders, business partners, fan bases, if he doesn't do that, I'm not sure what this franchise will look like if he tries to bring it back.
Right.
I don't know if you can jump over those hurdles without mending those relationships.
You can't. It's going to be the same situation. It's going to be the same situation we're in, and nobody wants that. I think that's the most frustrating part of that end of the narrative is you want a fresh start at that point. Let's break with this. Enough. It didn't work. It was an abject failure. Let's be honest. And yes, he's losing a lot of money, but as you mentioned, some of that's on him. And if you didn't realize that coming in here that this was going to be a challenge, well, do better diligence because, yeah, this is a tough market. You probably should have known that you were going to lose a lot of money taking over the Coyotes while you were rebuilding it. But there were so many missteps, so much just callous behavior, just not even caring about employees. I mean, we knew that, we saw the Katie Strang thing come out right away. And I do, I do think there's some validity to that may have been a particular side's narrative, but it was still a preponderance of people. Well, wait till you see what comes out in the coming weeks. There's going to be a whole lot more stories. You think he's in a bad place right now in this market? He hasn't hit rock bottom yet because there's a lot more dirt coming out. And I don't even know if it's possible to repair your image from the kind of hits you're taking. It's going to be really, really tough. I know pretty much everyone in this community would like to see him just walk away with his money and let the Valley have a fresh start with a new expansion owner.
So that's my final question on this, Craig, is with his window, and I know there's a lot of variables and benchmarks and so forth, if he does not change the way he does business in this state, with this community, with this fan base, with this political climate, can he succeed?
I don't think so. I mean, we've seen it, right?
Yeah.
We've seen it play out already.
I agree 100%.
And add to that, like when he did it before, he came in with a fresh start. So people didn't know his reputation. Now he's got a reputation.
Yeah.
So he's battling uphill.
Yeah.
He's battling uphill. And if he's going to practice the same way, no way.
Yeah.
No way it's going to work.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it would take for this community, these cities and the surrounding communities to go, okay. We'll give you another chance. I don't know what it would take.
Neither do I.
And business associates and people he does business with.
Maybe get your money up front like ASU.
Yeah. There was a reason ASU got paid up front for 3 years.
Yep.
You figure it out? Like, you've read the reports.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know. The one thing I keep going back to, and I strongly believe this, I think there will be an NHL hockey team in the state of Arizona. I really do.
I do too.
I think that
I'm not sure it's as quick as the rosy picture the NHL's paint. Well, it's not even the NHL, although it is kind of through back channels.
Yeah,
I don't think it's that rosy. I don't think it's here in 5 years. I don't believe it.
And I don't think the benchmarks that have been set forth in front of Alex Meruelo, I will have a hard time believing he will be. What are we, a year from now in April of 2025?
He's got to have a piece of land.
Yeah. He's got to have a piece of land. So people are sitting there going, well, he's got a 5-year window. And no, he doesn't. He doesn't have a 5-year window. He's got a 5-year exclusive window if certain benchmarks are met. Yeah. But if they're not met, we heard that. If there's not something moving and in the ground, you think the NHL is going to sit there 3 years from now going, well, he doesn't have any land. He hasn't started a building yet, but I bet he can do it in the next 14 months. So we'll just wait. No. If they're not hitting the benchmarks, he's going to be gone. And I guess for us as a fan base and people watching this team, the next day to watch is June 27th. Does he show up with a paddle to the auction? I'm not convinced he's going to be there. I know he sat there in this building and told you to your face he is going to win that auction. I don't know if he's going to be there or if he's going to be on a boat somewhere sipping a margarita. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Stay tuned here, though, because we'll sure be talking about it.
We're going to talk plenty more about the ownership, but I don't really want to spend much more time
I'm
on
sorry.
it tonight.
I'm sorry. That's on me.
I want to talk more about...
It's
celebration.
after midnight now.
It is after midnight. I want to talk more just about
Tonight.
the vibe
Yes.
tonight, how special it
Tell
was.
stories.
But first, in order for me to get here, I did have to stop for gas today. I was at 60 miles remaining.
But you knew, you were smart enough to know you had to come down to Tempe.
I was smart enough to know I didn't want to have to worry about running out of gas today, so I stopped at Circle K to fill up.
Thank
I
you.
put in my phone number, and because I'm a member of the Inner Circle, I save 3 cents per gallon every time I
Because
fill up.
you've already saved your 25
I
cents
already
on
did
your first
my
5.
Yep, already did
Okay.
that. Because being a member of the Inner Circle is so easy. It's free to join. You save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups, 3 cents every time after that, and you get deals on snacks, drinks, whatever it is. And we all know how much this crew
Oh, I could
loves
use
the
some
Circle K.
K
I
snack.
could use
Oh,
some
right now.
Circle K
Some
snacks.
kettle cooked
Woo!
chips.
Buddy,
Wee!
use some Circle K coffee because I still got to go home and write. So
True.
I'll have to get some.
Yeah, you can join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details.
And if you're in Arizona, make sure you go out and play the Arizona Lottery, Arizona Adventure. 3 ways to win. Scratch those lottery tickets that have 3 iconic landscapes here in the state of Arizona, not Utah. And second, go to the check-in at geolocated adventure locations. There are 10 across the state, from Flagstaff to Yuma and everywhere in between. All you got to do is check in, and you'll be registered to win cash and prizes, or enter your tickets online for a chance to win $1 million in cash and Arizona travel prizes. The Arizona Lottery is not just about playing games and winning prizes. It is also about giving back to the state and its communities. Visit azadventure.com for more information on how you can take an adventure for a chance to win $1 million in cash and Arizona travel prizes.
All right, I'm going to read some of our super chats.
I can't see that far.
Well,
Can you? Can you actually?
there was
read
a
'em?
little when
Well, she's
when we went
cheating.
when we
Oh,
went
she's
down.
cheating.
Well, no, I'm
I
not.
see
When
it.
we went down,
yes.
the ones on the screen disappeared. So I'm sorry to the first 3/4 of you. Your super chats will not show up on the screen, but I'm going to read them. I can see it from the top, and
How
we
did
will
you
run.
do that?
Don't
You're
worry about it.
amazing.
It's magic.
I thought
It's a
I
magic.
thought Danielle was the magic behind the Mac.
It's a magic. Okay, Connor Smith said, new listener, has been binging old pod eps on Apple. The fact that backlog episodes are still enjoyable is a testament to how entertaining you all
Oh,
are.
buddy,
Thank
thank you
you,
very
Connor.
much.
Very
Wow.
thoughtful. Alexander, hi guys, Hawks fan from Portugal.
Wow.
This
see?
is it. This is 10
Love
euros
it.
they sent us. Supporter of CHGO. I'm all for rivalries, but this sucks. Gutted for you. Jay, Greg, and Mario talk highly of you. That's enough for me. Good luck rooting for you. Thank you. And thank you to our CHGO friends as well. Zona Saint sent us a $50 super chat. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. You guys have some 4 peaks or OGs on me. Well, I can promise you that.
Let's go.
I don't know if you guys knew that all super chats over $50 just go to me.
Into your vault at
That's right.
Desert Financial.
Yes.
Wildly Coyote said the Desert Dogs may be gone, but the pack will always be here. That
Good
is
night,
true.
Bronco.
That
Good night,
is
Bronco.
true.
Bronco just went to bed. He said, I can't stay up anymore.
Good night,
Text me.
Bronco.
Good night, Bronco.
Darren Reed said, my dad followed the Yotes until the day he died in my arms in 2012. Ugh, I'm so sorry.
Jeez.
I've been holding on to the team in his memory, but tonight it's time to say goodbye to them, his love for them, and to all of you. Wow, Darren. Thank you for sharing that. It's really touching. And sad. Glassdoor Gamer said, hockey will be back in Arizona to be continued. I hope so. Fernando Mendez said, in 2023, I went through a divorce, no family and friends in Texas to comfort me. My Yotes and PHNX were there for me. Thank you guys for everything. Really glad we could be there for you. And yeah. Josh said, I put $3,000 aside in an account. If it takes 5, 10, or 30 years, I will wait for an NHL Coyotes opening night. I pray they come back in my lifetime.
Can you guys all just buy the team? Can we-
I'm telling you,
That's amazing.
we need to Ted Lasso this shit.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are incredible messages. John said, John Whitaker, closest I've been to tears, partially ashamed I didn't shed any. If this is it, it's been a ride. I'll miss the squad, the highlights of my winter yearly. What a special game for special fans. Cricket said, since there's time till it starts, how about sharing your favorite memory? I'd love to hear them. Also, the CHGO chatters are feeling for y'all. Appreciate the love from the CHGO fans. How about this? A $100 super chat from Ty.
All mine.
To to Craig, Leah, and Petey, thank you guys for everything you've done for hockey coverage in the Valley. Looking forward to seeing whatever you guys do next. Always love Yotes forever. Thank you so much. Nicholas sent us a currency DKK. Is that Denmark? Thanks for everything. I really hope you find a way to keep doing this. I need my Petey dope. Do you guys believe the team will come back in 5
Right
years?
here, buddy. Right here.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll have to wait and see. Dylan Rogers said, because of you three, I've become so much more invested with this team and all our prospects, so I blame you guys for how much more this church. Joking, of course. I sincerely thank you for what you've done for this fan base. Thank you, Dylan. Toby from Sweden. Alarm went off at 3:30 a.m. Game start 4 a.m. My girlfriend had a Cobby Bullen jersey. I had Numanen's jersey. I followed the Jets to Phoenix in 96. It's hard to be a fan in Sweden. This night, harder than ever.
That's amazing.
Unbelievable. Chief Crazy Buffalo said, as far as I'm concerned, the NHL no longer exists. I'm going to miss watching our Desert Dogs and everyone on the show and in the chat. Thank you for this community. Hope to see you guys again with love from Sierra Vista. Final Howl. The Extra Shift podcast. Here's to everyone at PHNX, especially Leah, Craig, and Petey, for doing an amazing job in very trying times. So glad to have made your acquaintance this year. May the drinks be flowing freely tonight. They will be flowing freely this weekend in Tucson. I will say that for sure. Alex Albrecht said, I'm from Long Island. I could have been a Rangers fan or an Islanders fan, but I chose to be part of this amazing Coyotes community. Forever grateful I made that choice. Godspeed. Crazy to see we're Coyotes fans all over the world. Dirtbike Boy 714, I'm 21. I'll be almost 30 when the Yotes come back. What the F? Hopefully it's sooner than that, but vaguely sober. Oh, our old friend from DNVR. Bunch of hearts, PHNX. I'm gonna miss you, fam. Tonight's not our last show.
It's not.
We hope you keep tuning in the coming weeks. Riley Riles, our friend in Alaska. Appreciate everything you guys have done this year. Plus, I followed you. You've helped me through some tough times.
Hey, Riles, thanks for the message. Really appreciate that. And stay safe out there, man.
Windy City Hockey, every Coyotes fan, I feel for you and deserve better. Thank you so much. Clayton 2, born and raised in Phoenix, 6 when the Coyotes arrived.
Craig, quit kicking the thing.
Oh.
I like moving it. I don't know why.
He's like he's looking
12,
like he's like a
12,
little
23,
kid. He's literally like. Do you see him over there? He's like a little kid. He's like he's looking at it like and then he looks at us like, do we notice?
Like, I can't be held accountable anymore. It's 12:23.
Oh my goodness. Born and raised in Phoenix, 6 when the Yotes arrived, just numb. Was hoping my 5 and 3-year-old would grow up with them too. Ugh. Craig,
Jeez.
Leah, Petey, and Danielle, thank you. Y'all are pros. Would love to grab a beer with all of you. We'd love to grab a beer with everyone. And if you're local, come
Next
grab
Wednesday.
a beer with us next Wednesday, the
4
24th.
peaks.
Yep. Mr. Mallard said, shout out to Biz's closing thoughts on the TNT panel. I heard some people listening to it. I'll have to listen to it on my drive home, but I saw he tweeted something as well. Cackle said, thank you all for your shows. I regret that I never took the chance to meet you all in person, but I'm very grateful to have been able to thank Leah at this game. Well, I'm really glad we got to meet. And hopefully you'll have the chance to meet us soon. Again, next Wednesday, 4 Peaks. We'd love to see you. Near Central Study, been listening for a couple years. Love your content. So sorry the Coyotes are gone. Thank you for listening all those years. James said, I watched this show since its inception. Thank you for everything. ASU hockey is looking to be a powerhouse going forward. We may just have
We're going
to
to talk a lot about
focus
ASU hockey in
on
the weeks
ASU
to come,
hockey.
too,
Yeah.
because we had a chance to catch up with head coach Greg Powers. We got some insight on what's coming, so we'll talk about it.
Marcus Daly, born in Tucson, was introduced to hockey in Alaska. Always wanted to see a game in Arizona. Heartbroken. I never will. Yotes forever. Thank you 3 for everything. Never say never.
Never say never.
Kyle said, fan for life from Toronto. I love you guys so much. It's been really hard tonight. Thank you for everything you guys have done. All of you are the best. Thank you from Toronto. Andrew said, you deserve so much better than this. This is such a special community. Even if my time following the team was short, no matter what, I will always be a Yotes fan first. Thank you for everything. Thank you. SJ Hockey, as I've said before, I'm so sorry to see the Coyotes go. Facing relocation fears for my Devils was scary, and I just feel for the Coyotes fans. It's not fair that you lost this up-and-coming team, but you will be back one day. Thank you. Albert said, till the wheels fall off, till the curtain comes down, till the Titanic sinks beneath the water. If you 3 are the band leaders, we are your band members. Thank you for everything, and here's to whatever's next. #Yotes forever. Pokey Medros here from Winnipeg, wishing all the Yotes fans my best. We know your pain and hope we'll see you back in the league before too long. Much love. That's a very empathetic message coming from somebody in Winnipeg. We really appreciate that.
I understand.
Yep. Jack York, I shook Meruelo's hand one time last season walking the concourse. He almost looked confused. He asked me, "Are you good?" Microcosm of our owner. What a tidbit. Zach, I knew that when I'd left, it'd be all over. I clung to every second of this game. Not often do you get to celebrate the good times while you're in them. So glad I got to chat with you all tonight. Let's go, Yotes. Glad we got to chat with you too, Zach. Michael said, just got back to my hotel room after the game. That game and atmosphere was amazing. I will never forget this night, and I don't regret the red-eye flights one bit. Thank you for everything. So many people flew in. Christopher Standard Time, Dallas is my number one, but Yotes are my second team. I feel horrible for Yotes Nation. Y'all are the best fans and didn't deserve any of this. Yotes forever. Christopher Canfield, we saw you on the Jumbotron many times
He's
today.
always on.
I know. Love you all. See you in Tucson Saturday. Cannot wait, Christopher. Looking forward to that. AZ Sports Guy, I cannot believe the banner thing went viral. LMAO.
Still think you should wear it as a toga, buddy. Could have got even bigger.
Seriously. Jonathan Kidd, here's some
Really
cash
cool,
for the
though, isn't
internet bill. You can tell when these super chats came in. Sending love from New Mexico. I'm a Navs fan, and I stand with the Coyotes fans and supporter. Hockey is family. Thank you, PHNX crew. Thank you. Detached 09, no tears left to shed. Kidding, still plenty. And no words left for how let down I am with certain people. You all know who. Thank you, PHNX, for the coverage over the years. Appreciate you. Stig rolls on. Hey, Craig and Petey and Leah. Sebastian from Monaco here.
That's
The one you met.
Buddy.
Thank you for everything. Wish I had discovered the show and Team Sooner Yotes forever. He hooked you up in Monaco.
Did hook us up. That was one
Was
hell
that
of
the
a
guy at the
cocktail
bar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sebastian has skills too
Do
behind
you
the
know
bar.
that Craig's been to Monaco? I've been to Monaco
That
too.
was a pretty sweet.
Literally, I've been to, you know where I've been in the last 6 months? Tempe. This is as far away as I've been from home as tonight.
Oh my goodness.
Some good cocktails there. Thanks, Sebastian. Good to hear from you.
Well, we
good
have
memory.
more people from abroad. Chris Blythe, all the best guys, and this is in all the best guys. It's 8 a.m. here, and I've been up since 3. We'll catch up with the rest of the show on the podcast. Thank you for everything. It hasn't hit me. I'm still in denial. Yotes forever with the British flag. Mike, good night, Leah, Petey, and Craig. See you in Tucson on Saturday.
Mike's
Looking
gonna come
forward
down.
to it.
Great. It's good to see Mike.
Yeah, GMAC91, you three absolute studs are incredible hockey writers and analysts. Here's hoping ALLCITY sets y'all up with a national hockey podcast. I want to address this. There is a national hockey podcast. They are called What Chaos, and they are based in Boston. You can follow them, What Chaos Show, on YouTube and Twitter, and they are phenomenal. Our former producer,
They're
Sean
fun.
DePaz, produces them. They've been really great to us, so we're going to definitely find a way to still talk hockey, but there is a national hockey show, so we want you guys to go support them. They have a lot of fun stuff planned for the playoffs. But they also added, there are so many hockey fans pulling for you. Now please root for the Avs over the Jets. We're almost done, I promise. Except now I just lost my place. Okay, SH Research. It's not much consolation now, but the story of the Coyotes will be tonight and not the years of BS. Most cities don't even get a chance to say goodbye. That's a good point.
That's
It's a
really
very
nice.
good point. It's really nice that
Very
we
nice.
had this. H-Town Kemp, you guys need beers and hands for this kilt lifter stat. I agree. That was the one miss of the night,
Yeah,
I
we
think.
failed on that.
We did
should've
miss that
smuggled
out.
beer in.
We didn't think that out.
Maybe tomorrow afternoon. Michael said, I'm still laughing about chirping at Ekholm that he can't drink from the penalty box water bottle. That was so fun. Glad you had that moment. Clinton said, my dad and I don't bond around much, but we do on hockey. It was amazing to be able to watch one last Coyotes win together. LFG Yotes. James, as a Sharks fan, will miss the rivalry with the Yotes. We know the feeling here with our A's going to Las Vegas. The A's fans have been very supportive, and we appreciate you. And H-Town Kemp said, Wildcat hockey, bear down, back the A. Hashtag hired Mike Luke. Back the A. Let's go.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness. All right. No. no.
The deep and lock. Deep unlock.
Oh, and then we have one that I missed from Jack York that says, "One day I would love to sit back and have an IPA and ketchup doused hot dog with Craig. We can maybe even start the wave. PHNX, we love you."
Do you know that they
what
ran
alternate universe do you imagine that happening?
They ran out of food, and of course, I don't plan. You guys all planned, and so you guys, did you eat here at all, Craig?
Yeah,
at all
a
since
little
you've been
bit.
here.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I
So
had to.
third period, I go. We're gonna be here late. I better go eat. So I check
No
out the
tendies?
stands. Oh, buddy,
It ran out.
gone. You know what? I had a choice. I had a hot dog that's been sitting there since the first period, or French fries.
I watched. We were up in the media room, and Bill Armstrong walks in, opens the cooler just to try to get
Yeah.
something to drink. Empty.
Yeah,
Just,
I went down
you
to my
think they're
pretzel
sick of
bites.
this?
They sold
You
out.
think they're sick of this?
Sold out.
Can I just get a soda? Can I get a water? Can I get something?
No,
no,
can't.
no.
Can't.
Use just spit.
So,
Ay,
so
ay,
I did get a hot dog,
Oh,
Craig. I
God.
got a hot dog. I did get it because I had to eat.
Yeah.
No condiments. They didn't have any.
No, that's
I mean,
horrible.
no ketchup is fine,
They
but
did nothing.
nothing else. That's
They
brutal.
had no condiments. Here you go. Here you go, buddy.
Oh my
Thank God
gosh.
this studio's got a bathroom in it. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about
Everybody
that.
cover their ears when the
That's
show's
why.
over.
That's why
That's
the
the
show
thing.
will cut out in the middle.
You. Yeah, I'm looking at you.
The show cut out. Just run the water. They won't hear you. Buddy, it's a.
Oh, no.
The hot dog sat
We
there
are
for
off
3
the
hours.
rails.
Some
It is
action.
definitely
It is
12:30 in the morning.
12:30 in the morning.
Yep. All right.
Oh my God. All right. Let's wrap it up here.
Get us out of here, Leah.
any final thoughts you guys want to actually I want to give Danielle a chance to comment on anything if you want. Danielle, you were also here tonight.
Oh boy, I wasn't prepared for this.
Sorry, just put you on the
so,
spot.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna cry. But that's fine. I just want to thank you guys. Ever since I was a little kid, I always wanted to play hockey, but my family never had the money for it. So you guys really introduced me to the game of hockey, and it's been a dream. And I'll just show some pictures while we're talking over this.
Wow.
I've never really been embraced the way I was with the hockey community. Just sort of immediate, like the embrace that I felt from the Coyotes was really amazing. So I appreciate all of you guys, and I appreciate the Yotes fam, and I just appreciate all of you guys so much. And Yotes forever.
Yotes forever.
Thanks, Danielle.
Thanks for sharing.
Thanks for all you do
Yeah.
for us, Danielle. Appreciate it.
Literally, Danielle made the show. Danielle was the reason the show went live every night, every day. So thank you, Danielle, and your photos added so much over these last
There's
few
one
weeks.
moment I want to make sure we recognize, and we haven't had a chance to talk about.
Oh, you're
tonight.
right. You're right. That
And
was
it's the grumpy old man that barely talked to me after the 2500 game,
Oh my gosh.
and he was legit mad at me.
Yeah.
When I talked to his wife tonight because his whole family was here, and she laughs about it. She said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "No, he wouldn't talk to me for 2 weeks," and he's still mad about it. But Stan Wilson, he came down with this team from Winnipeg, and he told his stories of how heartbreaking it was leaving that community with his 2 young children at the time. And now he sees the end of another era.
Yeah.
And you could see on the bench today, and Danielle took an unbelievable photograph. He had his 3 grandsons in front of him on the bench in warm-ups. And the smile on that man, that's what this is about for him. But that same feeling that those grandkids have for Stan, thousands, and that's not exaggeration, thousands of hockey players needed Stan. Stan was their connection. Stan was their voice. Stan was the guy that helped them find their way in the National Hockey League. Every guy you see that played for this franchise, every single one of them, when they first came through that door, the first guy they talked to was Stan Wilson. And he was the glue that kept this whole thing together. And at the end of the game tonight, every single player on this team went up to the bench to hug Stan Wilson. And I talked to Stan this morning, and he is a grumpy old man. And he's like, there's no big deal. It doesn't bother me a bit. I'm fine. And that moment, you could see what this...
Oh, did you see the towel? I mean,
Yeah.
he must have just had something in his eye.
Every player...
He was dabbing at his eyes.
Every player.
Every single player...
That
gave him a
almost.
hug.
That was one of the moments that almost
That
cracked
was-
me
and
today.
That was
Incredible.
special, and he deserved it. And I'm so happy that I got to see that moment. because he deserved it. Stan, congratulations for all this. You've held this whole thing together for an incredibly long time, man. Take a break, get some rest, and enjoy your family.
One quick addition to this. When you did blow him up for, that milestone game, I asked him, which actor would you pick to play you in the Stan Wilson movie? His response, won't be Petey, that's for sure.
Yeah, will not be. He was so mad. No, but again, his is just one of countless stories that we're going to continue to tell here, because the number of people that came up to me today and said how important this franchise was to me. I said, how long have you been a fan? I was born in '96. I was a fan since then.
Right.
I was a fan since birth.
Started playing hockey because of this team.
Yeah, my dad
had a
brought
woman
me to
tell
this
me
game.
that the Coyotes got her through cancer treatment. It was the one thing that gave her joy in life. There's so many stories like that tonight.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted That's where I want us to walk off on this show.
Yes.
Actually, it's
about the people. It's about the community.
About the people.
It's about and that's what I think that this team, this franchise means more than the guys out on the ice. It is much bigger than that. This is an unbelievably tight community of hockey fans here in the desert, and they're not just in the desert. They're all over the world. And something about this team, this logo, there's something about Arizona that gravitates all of these people together to celebrate the game that I love. And I'm so thrilled and grateful that I got the opportunity to talk about it with these people. I told so many people today, we just sit in a room like this and talk. We don't really realize that there's people on the other side there, that they're affected by this. Thank everybody. Just stay on the wagon, man. Hockey still belongs in the desert. It's still here. I'm not sure when the NHL is coming back, but we're still in this together. I promise we're going to keep talking about it, and let's fight the good fight. And thanks for being a Coyote fan. Appreciate you.
Seriously, thank you. Before we head out, 2 more super chats. Southwest Dakota. As a former San Diego Chargers fan, I know how it feels to have a team ripped away from us, though through no fault of our own. Continue to support local hockey. We absolutely will. Thank you. And AZ Catch G, thank you, PHNX crew. # back the A bear down. I love it. I love
Get
it.
out of here.
Oh, man. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much. Seriously, from the bottom of our hearts, everybody we talked to today, everybody we didn't get the chance to talk to today, everybody who couldn't be here in the building today, who's just here in the chat or listening or watching later, we sincerely appreciate you. And it's really sad that this show has to, eventually come to an end. And
let's not talk about that now.
Well, this is the last PHNX Coyotes post-game show.
Can't do it. I can't think about it yet.
And it's been an absolute joy and pleasure to break down these games, give analysis. Sometimes the games were very bad and it was hard to find stuff to talk about, but mostly, the thing that made it the best was the people watching, the people listening, the people contributing in the chat, in our Discord, in the community. Those are the people that matter. And when you look around the building tonight, you saw it. And there is a fan base for hockey here. There's a fan base for the NHL here. And I hope, with all hope, that we can see it coming back again soon. And to close things off, a super chat from Craig's wife.
Uh-oh.
How about this?
Get your ass home. You have things to do. Is that 24/7,
no? 20 plus years, Craig has been driven to provide truth and context for fellow hockey fans. So glad he found his PHNX team and this community. Love you all.
Now we better get off the air because I will cry.
All right. Well, we will get off the air. Thank you so much, everybody. Again, we will be live tomorrow. Coyotes breakup day is in the morning. We'll be live in the afternoon to break that all down and continue to talk through the feelings that we're feeling tonight and talking through tonight. So stick around, subscribe to the PHNX Sports YouTube channel, subscribe to PHNX Coyotes wherever you get your podcasts. We're still here for a while. You can follow us on Twitter at @SPetersHockey, at Leah Merrill, at Craig S. Morgan, at Abrica Danielle, and you can follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_Coyotes. Coyotes fans, we love you.
Love y'all.
Good night.
We all silly like the mayor.